one.
Y'all can both sign one. I'm on the.
No, I sent mine to you.
You already sent?
I sent it about 3 hours ago.
Okay, let me see.
So we get started, please.
Follow the instructions.
Oh,
Chris, are we ready?
yes, and Ashley, we need help signing people in.
Oh,
I think
okay.
we're good, yeah. We
The
are
meeting will
good.
come to order. The time is on 5:31 p.m. on Monday, October 20th, 2025. This is a regular monthly meeting of the District of Columbia Commission on the Arts and Humanities. My name is Reggie Van Lee, Chairman of the Commission on the Arts and Humanities, African-American man with a black shirt with white words for a design that nobody's heard of. I will now call the roll. When you hear your name, please answer present. Commissioner Sims. Commissioner Habamama, sorry.
Present.
Commissioner Massey-Berry.
Present.
Commissioner Butler.
Present.
Commissioner Wharton.
Present.
Mr. Torres.
Present.
Commissioner Kim.
Present.
Commissioner Brienza.
Present.
Commissioner Mankiti. Commissioner O'Neill. Commissioner Stedman.
Commissioner Neal, just,
A quorum is present. This is a meeting of a public body held in open session and is governed by the Open Meetings Act. Please address all questions or complaints arising under this meeting to the Office of Open Government at opengovoffice@dc.gov. Notice of the meeting was posted in the DC Register, on the Commission's website, dcarts.dc.gov, and on the DC Office of Open Government's Central Meetings calendar at open-dc.gov. The meeting has been conducted in a hybrid format, with commissioners joining in person and remotely using the Zoom meeting platform. The meeting is being live streamed by the commission's, to the commission's YouTube channel. An electronic recording of the meeting will be available online following the conclusion of the meeting. Any objections to the agenda and minutes that were previously circulated from our September 29th, 2025 regular meeting? Hearing none, the agenda for this meeting and the minutes from the previous meeting stand as adopted. I'll now read the land acknowledgement. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to make it the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will, some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land for more generations than can be counted. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We begin this effort to acknowledge what has been buried by honoring the truth. We stand on the ancestral lands of the CAH and Piscataway people. We pay respects to their elders past and present. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths in any and all public events, and to use such truths to guide the legacy of this Arts Commission. Good evening, everyone. Compared to last month's agenda, we have a shorter agenda. We'll see if we have a shorter meeting or not. We will take whatever time is necessary to do the work we need to do. We have reports from the director, committees, and public commentary from a member from the art community. For those who may be new to our meetings, we try to remind ourselves of why we're here by having grantees to speak and give highlights at the beginning of the meeting. Our grantee highlight is Mr. Marcus Wells, musician, and McAllister Clayball for the Washington Urban Debate League. So we'll start with Mr. Wells. Are you here?
I'm not sure, there's one Zoom user, it might be him. If you're the Zoom user, is this Marcus Wells? Oh, it looks like we just got, hold on. Yes, hello. Is this iPhone 13, is this Marcus?
Yes, this me. How you doing?
All right, let me add you to panelists, 1 second.
Okay.
Up to panelists right now, just accept. There you go. All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So please proceed, Mr. Wells.
Oh, first of all, I want to.
We hear you.
Okay. First of all, I want to say, man, I thank everybody on the panel. I appreciate everything that's been going on so far. I have no complaints. I know when we first started, the road was a little bumpy, but what don't come with trial and error, But at this point, I feel like everything is moving in the right direction. Uh, Hopefully, other bands like the bands that's not well known like that get a chance to experience these same opportunities. Reggie, I appreciate you, Miss Cora, Ern, and everybody else from CAH. And I just look forward to the future, and hopefully we can do bigger and better things going forward. As far as Sycamore, that was a beautiful thing. I was happy for the experience. We live in Washington, D.C. D.C. is go-go town. And ain't nothing better than it. Just the vibe of it and to have y'all backing us out play like that, I can say I'm very appreciative. And I just can't wait to see what we're going to do more moving forward.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Because as you said, we started a little bit in rocky road, but as I always say, there's an answer to every problem. So I'm glad that you worked with us. We work with you. So thank you very much.
No, for sure.
We're here for you. Keep doing it. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Mr. McAllister Claybaugh for the Washington Urban Debate League. You here? Oh, there you are. Please proceed.
Yeah, I'm McAllister. I'm the Program and Grants Coordinator for the Washington Urban Debate League. We were very happy on Friday afternoon to find out that we had received funding from the commission for the first time after 3 years of applying. So that was a great way to start the weekend. We work with middle school and high school students at public and charter schools in DC, and we teach them how to debate. And this is our 11th year of existence. We started off with 6 schools and about 100 students and 1 staff member. And now this year, we're expecting to work with around 90 different teams at schools throughout the DC area. We're expecting something like 900 students to come to at least 1 tournament, and our staff has grown from 1 to 7. The kind of debate we do, students compete in teams of 2 against each other. So in each debate round, we'll have 4 students and a judge who is an adult, a volunteer, a debate coach. Each round takes about 90 minutes. The teams are assigned to be in favor of a proposition or against it. They debate for an hour and a half. The judge listens to what they say. At the end of the round, gives them direct feedback, decides who won the round. At each tournament, students will go through 3 or 4 of these rounds. So they get direct feedback from an adult 3 or 4 times throughout the day, which is really what accelerates kind of the educational impact of what we do. And our students have the chance to go to between 6 and 11 tournaments a year. All of our programming, thanks to generous donors like the commission, is free to all of our students. There's no activity fee, there's no registration fee, there's no tournament fee. Everything we do is covered, including breakfast and lunch. And we couldn't do that without support from groups like the commission. We like to think of debate as the original humanity. We teach our kids that the 3 ways of persuading people go back to the ancient Greeks with ethos, pathos, and logos, and we build up from there. Debate is a persuasive and rhetorical activity that relies on reason and logic. And we've been really proud of the community we built in DC through our 11 years of programming. Like, we have dozens of alumni who coach our teams, who come back and work at our summer camp. And we've been growing steadily post-pandemic. We're expecting to continue growing this year. And getting support from people like the commission is a huge part of letting us keep doing that. Like, our ultimate goal is to serve something like 2,000 students a year. And that's looking out maybe 10 years. So I'm really happy to be here. I'm really happy to be a first-time award winner. I will say a couple of things I learned from the process is being persistent makes a difference. I also served on 3 commission grant review panels in the last 2 years, which gave me a lot of insight into how your process works, which was invaluable. And the feedback we got from commission staff was really helpful in helping us tailor future applications. So we are looking forward to building a partnership between the Washington Urban Debate League and the DC Commission on Arts and the Humanities.
Great. Well, thank you. I mean,
Yeah,
2 important things you said is that never give up. I mean, so after 3 years of trying, you improved and did your homework and understood the process. And we encourage people to be on our panels because it's not only a good public service, but it allows you to have an insight of our process. Our process is a process, but it's fair and all of this stuff. But if you don't know it, if it's visible to you, you don't know how to apply necessarily. So thank you for that. And as a former debater since junior high school, I appreciate the work you're doing. I think it's helped me be able to speak as much as people wish I wouldn't, but doing it. So thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We're gonna move on to the public comment portion. We have one public comment today, Mr. Abdur Rahim Mohammed of the Hung Tao Chow Mai Leadership Institute signed up for public comment. The commission welcomes your comments. They're very important to us. Please note the comments are limited to 3 minutes. Please address your remarks to the chair and note that we are not engaging in dialogue at this time.
Y'all can get out, I'll park.
Gretchen, you're on mute. Hold on.
I can hear you.
You're upside down.
No, just not upside down.
I'm not sure if Raheem is here,
Is that fingers?
made it to the comments.
She's around.
So I think we can probably move on.
Okay. So I didn't get to finish my little speech about public comments.
Sorry.
It's not important. We'll now have the director's report. Aaron.
Hello, everyone. I'm Aaron Myers, Executive Director of the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities. African-American male, that's bald and with a black and white flowered sweater on. This is a summary of what's been happening and some of the activities at the agency. CAH completed its DCHR pilot desk audits and is presently working with DCHR to implement the recommendations. Any staff upgrades were budgeted for and defended in the current budget. For a bit of insight into the results of the desk audit, DCHR recommended 16 grade increases for CAH staff with an additional 4 actions CAH identified would benefit the work of the agency. I would like to acknowledge our HR department staff of 1, Denise Jackson, for helping shepherd this along, being able to process 40+ desk audits within 5 months. Where this could be a process of several months for a singular request, these actions speak to the skill and expertise of our staff at CAH and the eagerness of DCHR to do this pilot program and experience. Members were able to appeal if they had any questions or concerns, and I would like to thank the entire staff for participating in this process. We're extending an offer to an applicant for our public affairs specialist. Once a decision is made, it will be communicated with the commissioners. The Office of the City Administrator, OCA, extended the waiver process as we moved into FY26, which caused stalls in all departments. With updated guidance, grant award announcements have now gone out, and we have worked with our counterparts at OCFO to resume normal activity.
Can I stop you for a minute? Because I want to punctuate the whole equity study, salary thing. This has been an issue for years. It's taken us a while to get the work done. DCHR went through their process at the pace that made sense to them. And I was pleasantly surprised to discover that of the 40+ staff, 40% got some sort of increase. Now, maybe not as much as people would liked, but certainly there was a recognition when we look at the work being done, the compensation compared to market, there were movements there. It's my understanding nobody was downgraded at the agency. And so I am comfortable that we deployed a process that was fair and to try to make the right sort of adjustments. I'm sure there are those that still have their concerns, and we will hear them, and we will act on them in a way that makes sense. But I was pleased to see that DCHR and that study recognized 40% of our staff deserved an increase. So I want to applaud the staff.
We're going to move to our strategic plan, which has been a plan that has been the hardest situation to get accomplished. The current procurement for a strategic plan began in May of 2004. I say May of 2004 to be clear, 2024. I say that because for months leading up to that, we were in a bit of a spat with OCP because I was trying to use the award amount that we had received for the previous plan in that range, and they did not want to post it for anything under $100,000. So I acquiesced after a battle, and we went up to $120,000. The plan has been delayed due to circumstances outside of our offices. As we all know what happened last year with the waiver process, and this, that, and the other. CAH has identified within the current budget how it will be covered. OCP will be informing us of who the bid was awarded to. So they have identified somebody, and so we just need to know who the people are who will be doing the work. So it's been a long road, but I'm grateful to our team for working and making it happen the best we could. Through grants, the staff is presently working on grant awards. Grants communication has gone out to all applicants. with guidance on what next steps they should be taking and setting expectations around timelines. The commissioners will be included in this communication so that you will be able to refer those who may pose questions to you to the language we have sent out already. For commissioners to understand, this year, some of those templates that went out were a bit different based upon what type of grant you received. And so we're getting a general template out for you all to have, so you were able to refer back to it if any questions are posed to you. Lastly, I want to thank the staff for supporting the opening of DC Art Now that opened September 11th. Those commissioners who are present, I do encourage you to go through and take a look at one of the strongest shows this gallery has ever seen. Please encourage those within your ward and community to visit the gallery through its run through December 12th. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
So commissioners, any questions, comments on the director's report?
Oh, the last thing I almost forgot to cover. So for the first time, by the end of this meeting, we can say we have, I shouldn't say for the first time in this fiscal year, which is only a few days or weeks, we have all of our conflict of interest forms with the stated interests for each commissioner. Now, what this form states is that as a commissioner on the District of Columbia Commission on the Arts and Humanities, you hold a position of public trust and therefore must uphold the highest standards of ethical and professional behavior regarding the treatment of any actual, apparent, or potential conflicts of interest. As a result, you are required to disclose the existence of any actual, apparent, or potential conflicts of interest to the chairperson by the first meeting of the commission of the new fiscal year, which has now been done. An appearance of a conflict of interest would arise when the commissioner, any member of the commissioner's immediate family, the commissioner's partner, or an organization that employs or is about to employ any of the aforementioned individuals has a financial or personal interest in the individuals or organizations selected for grants, subgrants, or contracts issued by CAH or any business relationship with CAH. Affiliations or relationships that may create actual, apparent, or potential conflicts of interest are your spouse, legal partner, minor child, or a relative living in your immediate household. Other relationships, such as a close personal friendship that you think might affect your judgment or be seen as doing so by a reasonable person familiar with the relationship, may also cause a conflict of interest. So after this, all of the commissioners have listed any conflict of interest they've identified. And I think by tomorrow morning, those who just came in closer to the meeting will be up on the website, but many of them are already on the website. And the public can see the conflict of interest for themselves. We strive to be as transparent as we possibly can. And this is done in accordance to the bylaws that have been passed by the commission. And I am an ex officio commissioner, so I was able to read it.
And let me just say a few words on this. It is a challenge to find someone who would serve as commissioner in the Arts Commission who is not already connected with some arts organization in DC. It is a challenge, if not impossible. So this notion of recusing ourselves and being careful about how we vote and making everything blind is our process. And so now this extra transparency, where on our website, you can see for each of us, the organizations we may be affiliated with. And you can confirm, if you wish, whether we are acting in a way that is appropriate, given our relationships with those organizations. So we're trying to find a way to recognize that we are connected to the art scene in DC, but we can do it in a way that still allows the fidelity around the work we do and integrity around the work we do at the Arts Commission. So thank you, commissioners, for so early in the fiscal year that we struggle sometimes to finally get it done. We always get it done, but not always this early. So thank you, everybody, for that. Our commissioners, again, any questions or comments on the director's report? If not, we'll go into the grants report, and some combination of Gretchen and Terrell, I think, are gonna present the grants report.
Yes, I will take it from here. Hello, everyone. My name is Terrell Johnson, Senior Grants Officer here at the Commission. Black male wearing a white collared shirt with a black sweater. FY26 grant cycle. We typically announce grant awards at the beginning of the fiscal year. This year, our process was delayed by a week as we awaited the approved expenditure request from the DC Office of Budget and Performance Management. Per the mayor's order issued in April of this year, on Friday, October 17th, the commission received the final approval needed and award notifications were sent out to FY26 awardees on Friday afternoon. Currently, our grant managers are diligently reviewing and processing grant agreements for the FY26 grant cycle. As of today, we have 1,014 grants that have been awarded, excluding our capital projects grant. Please note that the deadline for submitting grant agreements and supporting documents is Friday, October 31st. Over the past 2 years, the agency has seen a budget decrease of $5 million. This year, the decrease in GOS alone was a 1.3 million decrease. These budget changes have a substantial impact on the number of grantees that we are able to fund and the funding rates. Capital Projects Grant. The FY26 Capital Projects Grant received 87 applications, aligning with the 94 applications received last year. Our panel review process concluded on Friday, October 17th, a total of 5 panels. The commission will vote on funding recommendations at the November commission meeting. Large Capital Projects Grant, CPO, opening date this Wednesday, October 22nd. CPO furthers CAH's mission by encouraging progress in the arts and humanities in the District of Columbia by supporting nonprofit arts and humanities, arts education, and service organizations that significantly contribute to the District of Columbia as a world-class cultural capital. Grants are awarded on a competitive basis for the purpose of supporting either improvements of a facility located in the District of Columbia with a tax valuation of at least $1 million, or the purchase of a facility located in the District of Columbia with a tax valuation of at least $1 million by an applicant with a 30-year lease on the facility. The application will close on December 17th, 2025. So it'll be open for about 7 weeks. Upcoming workshops. We have a FY25 final report workshop coming up this Wednesday, October 22nd at noon. And then we have another one Thursday, October 30th at 4 p.m. So if you have any questions or need help completing your final report, this is a great workshop to attend. FY26 paperwork orientation will be Thursday, October 23rd at 2 p.m. We will have more of those added to our website. So if you have any questions about correct paperwork that you need to submit, this is a great workshop to attend. District Integrated Financial System, DIPS, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. So this is going to be a standing workshop that we have every week. So if you ever have any trouble with your DIPS account, we will have people standing by to help you during that time. So that's a standing workshop going forward. And live chats. So every Friday at 2 p.m., starting at Friday, October 31st. Our live chats are a time where grantees can come in and ask questions about the project, ask questions about paperwork, or just hear some of the other questions that people ask. For more information, please visit our website or contact your dedicated grant manager. And that's my report.
I want to add on to that. Thank you, Terrell. I want to say once again, thank you to Terrell and his team. They've been going through and meticulously making sure that people are meeting eligibility and they've maintained their eligibility throughout the process. We do recognize that we did have a contracted budget this year, so we had more people apply. But if you go back and watch the commission meeting from last month to see the decisions and the rationale behind how these decisions were made, we made these decisions in response to the community to ensure that the grants that were going out were meaningful. There's something here, upcoming workshops, those final reports. I want to kind of echo exactly how important those final reports are. both Chairman Van Lee and I have been in meetings doing what we could to defend the work of the agency. Last year, we had an OIG report, a general report, where the immediate thing that they wanted to see were those reports. And so you will probably be hearing from your grant managers even more. There will not be really much, any flexibility in ensuring those final reports are submitted. Why? Those final reports are how we're able to tell the story of the good work that you're doing and tells the story of how this agency is actually impacting the district, how these district dollars are bringing more work and connectivity to our district residents. So this is very important. Also, we did see that last year, those individuals who got the feedback from their panels and those who may have scored a bit lower, who actually listened to that feedback, we saw that this year, as we heard earlier, they did better. This is a testament to our team making sure they were transparent and working with people, and for those who took that information and took it to heart and put it into practice. So I want to say thank you for being courageous and being vulnerable enough to hear some of that feedback. Some of it wasn't the best or easiest to hear it sometimes, but those who implemented that feedback, we are very grateful to you. Please spread the information that DIFS is a complicated tool, but we are here weekly to help you. There is no excuse for DIFS being a problem in a delay that we don't know about or we've not been able to connect you to a resource for. So please take advantage of this particular thing. And then lastly, the live chats. I really want to thank the staff for making sure that they are available weekly to answer questions of all forms and ilks regarding what's happening. And I want to say thank you. With that, I also want to thank our resource allocation team. You're going to be hearing from them in a second because they are also working, part and parcel with our hand in hand, it is, with our grants team and public art team to help find the solutions you need when you're trying to get your financial stuff together, right? So I just want to make sure that was clear and that was out there. To answer a question regarding our large cap, we're getting large cap out earlier this particular year. You will notice the number will be a bit different than what we had last year because both Woolly Mammoth and Gala Hispanic Theater, they were allocated dollars from within that allocation according to the BSA that was passed last year. So please know that it will be a bit more competitive this year, but bring your A game and have all your stuff together. So that's it.
Questions, comments from commissioners? Thank you, Terrell. Thank you to the grants team and the resource allocation team as well. We'll move
Can I
on.
ask a question about the research allocation and the grants? How much money we got in there for GoGo?
For GoGo this year, we put 20. Now, this is separate from the grants. So the GoGo grant still is there. Brandon can look up their team to let me know what number that number is. We did not in the last budget, when we first started speaking about GoGo, the BRT had already been submitted. We'd already put the budget out there. And so starting out throughout this process, we had zero allocated for GoGo. So what I did, I looked in the director's office and found 25,000 where we could push things off to next year or reduce in other ways so that we can maintain the relationship and the outreach within the community. However, I think it's going to be smart if we do it in a different way this year. Keeping that 25,000, but the mayor's office, well, the council delegated DC Public Library, Office of Cable Television, as well as Events DC as recipients of like GoGo dollars. So I think we should coordinate with them so the community can see exactly how we as a city are doing that. And then we can define exactly what CAH is doing. So although we may have $10,000 less, we can maximize that $10,000 with the partnerships with those other agencies.
So partnering with them would do what in terms of the bottom line of GoGo?
For GoGo, I hope it encourages those other agencies to actually put dollars toward it.
That's a hope, not a reality. So all we got for all of 26 is 25,000?
We have the 25,000 for 26, not to count the dollars we get DSLBD for Art All Night, because all the GoGo performances that happen from DSLBD, a lot of those dollars come from the money that we give
But
them.
on the long term sustainability, that's all we got.
No. That's just
No.
from the director side. We have the grant, GoGo grant. There's more money there for that.
You want to say something, Terrell?
Yeah, he just said what GoGo is one of our fellowship lines. So there's a distinct line that we fund GoGo artists in. That's part of the fellowship program. And that's
The
been
out-
in place for the last several years.
The outreach we did this past year was valuable, and I think it was meaningful. I didn't want to see that go to nothing. And so I was like, well, where can I pull, knowing that even our director's line was reduced this year too. So where cuts went everywhere, I was able to find some cuts, make sure GoGo had $25,000. But this means that we're preparing, Brandon and I were just meeting before this, we're preparing to do our BRT, our budget, before our budget review teams, put together our spend plan for next year. And this year will be the first year we're able to plan from the admin side, some dollars for GoGo. So I'm planning, and it's my hope to be able to put more than we put last year toward it, but we will be able to actually plan ahead and put it forward versus trying to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah, okay, well, that's a good start, but I wanna see, we have a chance to just dig deeper into just having a line item. And there's a whole rationale around that,
Right.
but this is a good start.
Thank you.
Other questions? Thank you, Terrell. Thank you, Gretchen. Finance, Janice and Brandon.
I'll start. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Janice Kim, and I have the privilege of serving as Chair of Finance Committee. I'm a woman of East Asian descent with short black hair and wearing white shirt and navy blazer today. We held our monthly meeting last Friday and reviewed the new budget numbers for the upcoming fiscal year, which runs from October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026. The new budget reflects a modest reduction from the previous fiscal year and will continue to monitor and manage our resources carefully as we move forward. And in echoing Aaron, I'd like to take a moment to extend my sincere appreciation to Brandon Saunders, our Resource Allocation Officer, and to Martine Fernandez for their continued support and hard work. Their diligence and expertise have been instrumental in guiding our committee's effort and ensuring a smooth financial process as we move into the new fiscal year. And with that, I'll turn it over to Brandon to go over our very clean report today.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you. I know I had something different to say, but I really appreciate the intro. It's also my first time in a long time, and hopefully not much longer to spend each time feeling the energy of everyone in person. Normally I am remote, but I am, yes, Brandon Saunders, Resource Allocation Officer of CAH. I'm a black male wearing clear glasses and a black and white sweater. And as Janice said, it's pretty clean today for the most part. That will soon change very quickly next month for the most part. Yes, and then kind of get right into our presentation. As normal, this is a little bit more standard run of show. We have the three lines that represent more of our admin side, our grand side that we were just speaking more in depth to across the board. And then finally, our grand total overall. You'll notice a little bit of just some movement, but then also essentially some final accounting work. But the agency, for the most part, hasn't had any sort of real spending activity other than non-lapsing operational tracks that will carry from year to year. We can go to the next slide. And then, sorry, I apologize, it's a little small. This slide is just yes, I think I need to zoom in a little bit more. My apologies, that will be corrected next period. This is a breakdown of our administrative side of the budget, which is our main categories from our personnel services that are highlighted up top. And then, of course, our four major categories. As Janice said, one of the things that we were also speaking about as it was happening live, as a matter of fact, for FY26 was the current city administrative order that was released on Friday. That essentially we were a little bit concerned that it would have as much flexibility to, in my layman's terms, just move things along forward and just be efficient. But Luckily, it lifted a lot of our just requirements for submission and approval to downtown on categories that are just core to our operations. So we're very excited about that. So these numbers, both on the admin side, and we can kind of switch to the next slide as a matter of fact. And so this is just more of a breakdown in terms of those main categories. You'll see at the bottom that those two contracts are from our rentals equipment, which is Xerox, and just IT software, which is just our normal software to maintain our operations for the most part. And otherwise, it's pretty clean. And that was because the waiver was just lifted, and we will now essentially probably starting this week, my team will start inputting the things into diffs and paths so that we'll see a lot more activity and our balances will start to shift. This is more of just a robust breakdown of the previous fiscal year. And then this is where I kind of wanted to go a little bit more in depth, because this will change the most. This is our grant slide, and what you'll see currently are our project codes for our public arts programs that are currently there. So this is pretty much indicative of where we currently are in terms of our progress as we are setting the budget up for the next fiscal year. And as the numbers, of course, I think we've provided a lot of context earlier as in terms of the final numbers for some of our programs, some of the things that we're still vetting to ensure that there's not any duplicative things. That's pretty much done for our public art side. We're still pretty much finalized. Of course, the awards just went out. That's why it's October 9th. We're in the process of taking all of those data points and then submit it to our OCFO staff in order for project codes to essentially be shown for the rest of those programs that we support on the grant side. Essentially, this was something that provides a little bit more transparency just from the normal standard breakdown to show the expenditure rate between each of our programs. And yes, that's all I have for right now. I will say that there will definitely be a lot more shifting for next month, so just get ready, everyone. Yes.
And as Brandon so eloquently put forward, or as Ms. Kim stated earlier, that you saw a modest decrease. And so to all of our constituents out there, you've heard for the last 3 years, both the chairman and myself, when we've gone to the council, we have brought up certain concerns like a growth cap. We predicted 2 or 3 years ago that what would happen if this cap remained in place, how our dollars would be impacted. And what we're seeing is that played out in real time. Now, you'll hear more from me next month over some plans that we hope that we can galvanize our community in ensuring that we know exactly what our asks are. And as an independent agency, we can make those said asks. But in this particular moment, if you want to see a different trajectory as far as our budget and what we have to offer the community from a financial standpoint, it must be the removal of that 1% cap on our growth. And I believe our additional member there will agree with me, who's on the screen.
No, Ms. Stanton. Thank you. I mean, the only point I'll add on the finance thing, and I was going to make this request towards the end. So I have 2 requests of the public. The first is, if you agree with us that budget cuts to CAH are much more detrimental than budget cuts in other places, please let your council members know that. Now, I'm not stupid. I know that we have financial constraints, so I'm not saying that our budget should grow or even that this should necessarily stay where it is, but impacts to this agency of budget cuts are really serious. It prevents us from serving you the way that we've done in the past. And people take what they got this year and assume they're gonna get more next year, and we have less money and more people in need. So it does really put a crunch on it. So if you hear this argument, you should bring it to your councilman. The other request is we do these workshops and all these things to work with you. We take people who didn't get awards in a certain year, work with them so they understand the process better. So please, it hurts me when I come into our workshops and 5 people are there. And they're very meaningful sessions we have. So we really need you to take advantage of us working with you to help you. Help us to help you. Those are my two requests to the public.
I'd like to add to that. I've had several conversations about, for lack of a better word, lobbying the council. And what I can tell you is, and none of them really have crystallized in the format that I'm accustomed to down through the years when you're really gonna do that seriously. But that notwithstanding, I can tell you, the problem with the argument is simply this. The council members do not connect what we do with the economy. They just don't. Most of them don't know what we do, period. And so they don't know that that money, that the tax money that comes to us goes through us and people are real life impacts. We have not made that case. So to say very nicely how this is more important than anything else they may be doing, or some of the other things may be doing, they look at you like you're crazy. You're talking about giving them arts commission, we got crime and education. So but the economy is really what is the basic problem with all of it. And you're saying that these people are contributing people in our society. A lot of what they're doing depends on us helping them, and it all trickles. You have to make the connection. It doesn't have to be complicated, but I know what I know because when I first got on this commission, I had to make them understand how the policies of the Arts Commission was impacting other people. And when they saw that, they changed. So we have to do a better job of giving them talking points and doing what we say we're going to do if we want to enlist their help in doing what we need to get done.
I agree. I mean, the talking points exist and we have put those forth, but we need to share them with the public so that they can speak to it as well.
Yes.
It can't just be us. It has to be them as well. 'Cause it's for
And you have to make a point that we're impacting the community, the economy.
Yep.
Or as they say, it's the economy, stupid.
So I guess we'll go on to arts education. Hector?
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. We met this past week on October 14th, and basically we had more of a summation of this past year's activities. Poetry Out Loud reached over 8,200 students across 9 schools, with DC's champion Nyla Dinkins representing the district nationally. Program was expanded now to 3 new schools and deepened DCPS partnership. So we expect that program to grow even further. Summer internships program hosted 9 interns offering hands-on experience in arts, education, grant making, public art, communications, and events. Alumni have secured art sector roles and advanced educational opportunities, which is a very successful program. Further, for fiscal year 26, arts education grants will award over 1.1 million to 55 grantees, and it's slated to reach 20,274 youth through school and community-based programs. We see that further expanding with relationships, deeper relationships that we develop with the DCBS as well. For fiscal 26 priorities include increased support for students with disabilities, an ELL community, and year-round youth poetry initiatives, as well as efforts to strengthen educator networks and enhance teaching artist development through implementation of data-driven strategies. I would also like to commend, certainly the education department team for their great work and for really expanding the reach of these particular programs they're charged with. So thank you very much.
Good. So before I ask questions, at the risk of annoying my fellow commissioners, the Poetry Out Loud program is amazing. And usually it's me and Hector there. Period. It is amazing. You will be amazed at these kids. I mean, those of us who love kids would be like, it's just, and for our Nyla to get up to the national level, that's us. So I really, really encourage you. We'll do a better job of getting it on your calendar sooner and harassing you, but really to see, well, I'm concerned that the room isn't full. The room should be full. Right? The room should be full, and certainly should have many more commissioners. So I think it's an amazing program, and I wish we could find a way to support it more. So to the public we're speaking to, please, we will let you know of those dates. Show up. It means so much to the kids to look into an audience of a bunch of people versus a handful of people. And to the commissioners, please try to be there if you can. I promise you'll enjoy it if you come there.
And Nyla was an intern with us here this year as well. So
That's
one of
right.
those interns, Nyla, which was fantastic.
Yep, and she is a ball of fire. What a wonderful young lady she is. We're very proud of her, and the fact that she performs in such a way is extraordinary. It's not only beautiful, but it's extraordinary that it has that amount of talent and that ease of self, which is great. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support, Reggie.
Questions, comments?
Is there any commentary about the we don't have water?
I'm sorry.
The budget, he said, the budget impact is why we don't have
Have any
water.
water here? No water. Next time. Bring your water with you.
Bring your water with
Okay, is there any unfinished business? Thank you, Demetrius. I'm gonna separate the two of you on the next meeting. Hearing none, we will proceed to new business. There are three pieces of new business. We'll first vote on whether to approve the committee's meeting dates for FY 26. Can we share the committee meeting dates for approved?
There we go. There, these are the-
So, now the last time I tried this, I gave all wrong dates.
Like, we need to have a.
So could you offer up the dates since?
You want me to say them all out loud?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that in a quick manner. My name is Julianne. I'm a commissioner for Ward 6, and I am an Italian white woman with sort of brown hair, wearing glasses, and I have on a black scarf. Arts education, we're looking at November 11th, which we're gonna revisit because that is a holiday. January 13th, March 14th, May 26th, and June 14th, and the
That's
community.
July 14th.
July
And this
14th.
is September on the next page.
And September 8th. All right, community advisory, we just, October 17th, November 6th, and then it looks like for the rest of the year, we are TBD, but we're looking at January, March, May, July, and September. For finance, we're looking at October 17th, November 14th, December 12th, January 23rd, February 20th. Looks like we just got the March on there.
Sometime in March.
There's probably a date coming, maybe. April 17th, May 15th, June 12th, July 17th, August 14th, and we're gonna end the fiscal year on September 25th. And governance committee, we've got December 11th, March 12th, June 11th, and September 24th. Grants committee, they're gonna get to it. But don't forget, we have November 21st is the grants revamp. Public art is November 5th, December 3rd, January 14th, February 11th, March 4th, April 8th, May 6th, June 3rd, July 8th, August 5th, and September 16th. We already went over the commission dates at the last meeting. You can revisit that at your leisure on the website. Executive committee dates, we already did October 8th. We're gonna meet again on February 18th, and we got a time at 5:30 PM. Then May 13th at 5:30 PM, and our final meeting of the year will be August 12th at 5:30. And there's some notes about holidays, and those are all the meetings.
Thank you. I mean, I wanted us both to go through the dates, but also to punctuate to ourselves and to the public of the amount of time and energy the commissioners and the staff put into the work of the commission. These committees are where most of the work gets done. So you should understand that, we don't just come to these meetings that you see us here. There are many other committee meetings and many of us on all of us on multiple committees, some on as many as 3 committees. So know that we're working hard on your behalf. So with that, I think we do it by acclamation. All in favor of approving these dates, meeting dates, say aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Second, we'll vote whether to approve the Art Week DC resolution as approved preliminary in the last executive committee meeting. Now, do we need to read that resolution again?
Our week or strategic plan, which one, you want our week first?
Well, I'm reading my script. It says Art Week DC.
Okay.
You can just glance at it.
Also that have, both of these have been reviewed
you could say, by the executive committee,
Yeah.
and then they came here.
Both of the resolutions.
Yes, all resolutions that we talked about today have been reviewed by the executive committee and approved, and many of us who are not on the executive committee were in that meeting as well. But for the formality and for the purpose of before the public, we wanted to do that. So do we have the Art Week? So basically, it's an extension of the special committee for Art Week DC for work that we hope will take place in the 2026-2027 timeframe. And it's all the therefores and whereases and be resolved. Any questions before I take the vote? All in favor of the approval of the Art Week DC resolution? Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Any abstentions? Good, it passes. Thank you. Next, we'll vote to adopt the 2025 strategic plan resolution. Commissioner Renzo, would you like to explain this resolution?
Sure. This is an extension of the extension as the executive director. Aaron, went over in his report. I think just the biggest parts of it that are, affirming are the forthcoming strategic plan will cover the period of mid FY 26 through mid FY 2029. I mean, here we go into the future. And it's important to note that the plan will reflect the current agency priorities, which include an expanding understanding of community and culture, a post-pandemic focus on sustainability, and a thriving arts ecosystem, and an emphasis on the arts as an economic driver for the District of Columbia. And of course, this resolution confirms our commitment with our partnership with the National Endowments for the Arts. And they will be notified when the strategic plan remains, and it will remain in effect pending the completion of the forthcoming plan and continues to meet all federal requirements for the state partnership agreement that the agency holds. And I think at this time, the chair could call for a vote.
So all in favor of the adopting the 2025 strategic plan resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Motion carries. So I have come to the end of my agenda, other than a closing and adjournment. So there's nothing else that we need to address. The next meeting of the commission will be held Monday, September 17th, 2025 at 3 p.m. That's at 3 p.m. as opposed to 5:30, because we're also planning a staff and commissioner appreciation afternoon event, a social event. In our offsites, we talked about the need to do that. So since you're going to be here at 5:30, I'll be here at 3 o'clock for this meeting, and at 5:30 we'll go into the social event.
When is this?
This is from Monday, November 17th. The next meeting, commission meeting anyway, same date.
Earlier.
Except the meeting's at 3 as opposed to 5:30. 5:30 will be the social.
And it's on a Monday.
It's on a Monday as always. The time is now 6:20.
I was just gonna say, if they could resend the invite to that, the invite currently says 5:30 to that meeting.
Yeah, that will be reset.
Okay.
Thank you. Updated. So the time is now 6:24 p.m. and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.